Hey, hi everybody. This is Vidushi Razdan.
And I'm Harnika Ojla.
We are members of Aspirants Relations Committee, TIS Mumbai. And if somebody can just ping hi on the chat so that we know that we are audible and visible to you all.
Yep.
So, hi Amini. So, TIS HRM is only there for Mumbai campus and not for the Kolkata campus.
We have campus in Guwahati, Tuljapur, Hyderabad, and Mumbai.
Mumbai.
And HRM is only available in Mumbai campus. If you're asking about the placement, see, it depends on the company. They can send you anywhere across India. So we cannot say that we can get you placed in Kolkata, right? So that totally depends on the company. Thank you, Vidanshi. And yes, Shaurya, there's a common form which you fill. You can pick up the courses according to what your choices are, but then there are certain specifications for each course. Just go through that before filling the form. But yes, there's a common form. You can choose three courses at max.
And also while filling the form you as you would have already seen in the form that as Harnika also mentioned that there are three up to three courses you can fill, but also you have to provide some sort of priority to each course, and that priority cannot be changed later on during any part of the admission process. So you have to be very careful while filling out the form. Hi, how can we prepare for interview process? Hi, Kiran. So once after you clear TISSNET exam, you will be having the second stage of the selection process for TISS 2023, and there in the online assessment interview will be a part of it, and for that. TISS will be releasing a form wherein you will have to fill in DAF, which is the detailed application form, wherein you'll have to answer some of the questions. So don't worry, these questions are going to be related to your life journey, your undergraduate background, whatever you've done so far, your life choices, and we recommend that you just be yourself there, and you don't. You're honest to yourself, you're honest to the panelists, and you at any given point of time, if you feel that you do not know any answer to any question, just say that you don't know. And because the people who are taking your interviews are very experienced, so they'll figure out if you're saying something that is not right.
Vaishnavi is asking that if some of the important documents like non-creamy layer and income certificate are not yet done, then is there the option of submitting those docs later? Uh, Vaishnavi, I think right now, if the application form is not asking for it, then you can submit it later, but just check the validity of that, uh, the certificate which you are having. It should be valid. Rest, I think you can submit it later after the process, I guess, after you give TISSNET.
Yamini is asking, yes, my query was about placement only. I understand it depends on companies, but you have heard people got placed in Kolkata too in earlier batches because Bangalore, Mumbai, we all know is employed. So Yamini, as we mentioned, any other place
Asking how to clear GA cutoff, any book for recommendations. Varun, you might it totally depends on what you're comfortable with. You can watch certain YouTube videos for that. There's certain channels, who have these things where they are, just what to prepare. Other than that, for GA, you can try from any coaching institute, whatever works for you. You can pick up a book. That is totally on you. Whatever works for you, you can pick up that.
And Varun, it's also important to focus not just on the current affairs but also on the static GK, because there's no set pattern that n number of questions will come from current affairs and these number of questions will come from the static GK. So you need to be very well prepared with whatever topics that are mentioned on the official website that we have, and be very thorough, keep revising, and you'll do well. Vaishnavi is asking if it's possible to crack this if someone starts now. Yeah, it's very much possible to crack TISSNET even if you are starting now. But just make sure that you're consistent. Make sure you're revising every day. You're practicing questions every day, and with consistency, we believe that it's very much possible to crack TISSNET in whatever time we have left.
and just try giving more mocks every day, like full-fledged mocks which have all the three things, so that you have a better idea as to how the exam would be conducted. So do that.
Yamini, I'm so sorry I couldn't hear you because of the internet glitches. That's not a problem, Yamini. So regarding your question, where you were asking us if the company is going to send you to Kolkata, so we were just letting you know that it cannot be really, you cannot be sure where a company is going to send you. It totally depends on where the firm is based out of, or where that division is. And you also mentioned that most of the people go to Mumbai and Bangalore. Yes, that is true. A lot of people do go to Mumbai, Bangalore, Gurugram. But that is completely up to where the company is located, and these things cannot be predicted beforehand. Varun is asking if there is trend for polity geography awards. So Varun, to answer this specific question, we suggest that you go through the past year papers and past year questions to figure out what are some of the important topics. And with that, we believe that you'll also be able to figure out whether or not you are comfortable with certain topics. You'll be able to figure out what your weaknesses, your strong areas are, and you're going to work accordingly. So please, it's important for not just for you, it's for everybody that you analyze the past year questions very very well, because they always come in handy. So Dhruv is asking, can you tell us about the number of subjects to be mentioned in the application form, like major subject in graduation, 10th, 12th? So Dhruv, I think for graduation, it is advisable that you at least mention the subjects that were that you were majoring in, or something that had more credits, because we believe that in some of the disciplines it's not possible to list down each and every subjects that you had during your graduation, but at least list down all the main subjects that you had, and the same goes for 10th and 12th as well.
Abhi, like the level of the questions, like see the pattern of TISSNET is entirely different from CAT, so you cannot compare it. So we have English and we have GK, but GK is not there in CAT, right? So the level of like, see the way, if it depends on you, the level is different. Here TISSNET is asking you questions which are primarily 10th based. You'll have certain topics which will be there from like plus 2, like logs and all, but it is primarily more, the questions are more from the syllabus of class 10th and below, but they are higher in the order of thinking. Okay, so the topics are something which are there in class 10th and below. English, I would say it's fine. It's not as tough, but then the pattern is kind of same as that of CAT.
And also from the so we had floated a registration form before we actually came live, and there were some people who were there was somebody who had asked if having undergraduate in a distant mode, will that make you eligible or not? So the answer is yes, you are very much eligible to apply for TISSNET. And
Yamini is asking that how much weightage is for VAT and GD. So, see, when we gave the exam, we didn't have this. We had online assessment, and there were two components in online assessment. One was extempore, and the other was interview. So, the entire thing had a weightage of 60%, and TISSNET had a weightage of 40%. And after that, we like the combined was the final result.
Lavina is asking, will TISSMAT be conducted this year? So, Lavina, based on the information and the timeline from whatever we know so far, we believe that TISSMAT will not be conducted. However, we will still recommend that that you wait for the official notice, just in case any update is there in the timeline. Please keep an eye on the official website that we had also kept there in our last post, and we'll keep updating you as well on our official handles. But make sure that you're going through the website every now and then, just in case there's any change in the pattern. However, rest assured that we'll if there's any change in the pattern or timeline or anything, We are going to put it up on our social media handles, so make sure that you are checking our posts.
Abhi is asking that can you please tell us some topics of extempore? So we do not have the exhaustive list of all the topics which were given in extempore, but then they can ask you anything which is usually trending or something which you should be knowing. So it's not something they will ask, that you have never heard of. So we can tell our topics. I had gotten a topic which talked about lifestyle and its impact on health. And I've heard some people got China and India relations and everything. So it varies according to the panelists. They can ask you anything. See, Vaishnavi, right now, the timeline which is there on the TISS official site, they will follow that timeline. But just in case there is any change due to any circumstances, then it will be uploaded on the TISS website itself. But till the time there's no update, you should follow the timeline which is there on the TISS site itself.
Dhruv is asking if this releases answer key. So Dhruv, once you get the result, I think there's for us there was an option to opt for your own response sheet where you
Yes.
can see what are the correct answers. But other than that, this doesn't really release an answer key.
Shaurya is asking, should we start preparing for TISSNET knowing that the notification might include TISSNET? Shaurya, it's seeing the notification itself, it's safe to say that TISSNET will not be there this year. So you should focus more on the preparation of TISSNET only,
Because
other than TISSNET.
even if just in case this mat happens, testnet is still the first stage, so you should be focusing on what you have in the near future, and testnet should be your priority at the moment. Also, Kiran is asking how many minutes do we need to speak on a topic. So Kiran, for us, we had to speak for about 3 minutes. And Abhi is also asking that do they give few minutes to prepare for
They
extempo.
give you
They give you approximately a minute
a minute.
to reflect on the topic that has been given to you. So it's something of sort 1 plus 3. So for 1 minute you get time to think and reflect about whatever the topic that you have received, and for the next 3 minutes you deliver whatever you have reflected on the topic.
And also, you have the option of asking for the second topic just in case you feel that your first topic is something you cannot speak on or do not want to speak on. So you can always ask for a second topic from the panelists.
Fruit Cake is asking, is there a chance of an offline interview? So based on the notification and the information that we have at the moment, we don't think that we'll be having an offline interview. But still, let's just wait for the official notification for further rounds.
Yes, Kiran, it's mostly like SSB. It's kind of the pattern would be kind of same.
So Yamini is asking, do you have any idea? I had a backlog in first year, but I cleared. Uh, so Yamini, as long as you have cleared your KT or backlog or whatever it was, you are eligible for TISSNET, and whether or not it will become questionable in your further rounds is something that is completely up to you. Whatever you have done so far, whatever has happened in your life so far, you should just have some sort of justification for it. For example, if a panelist asks you about it, you should just be confident and tell them what the reason was. Because if you're not being yourself, then that is something that will give a negative impact. So as we said during the start of this live also, that you just need to be yourself and be confident, be true to yourself, and uh, you don't need to worry about anything else.
Kunal is asking that what can be the strategy for English section as my vocab and grammar is not that much good. So Kunal, there are two components basically for English. One is reading comprehension and the other is grammar. So pick up any standard grammar book which you think you can work on. Try doing the exercises or maybe follow any YouTube video which talks about basic grammar rules and you can follow that. For reading comprehension, what I personally believe you should do is that if you think you're really weak in that, try practicing one or two reading comprehensions. You can easily get it from anywhere. Give yourself a fixed time and try to attempt that comprehension in a certain time period, and I think you'll be good to go, because at the end it's not predictable, right? So reading comprehension, you can get anything, but while practicing you can get a hang of it as to how to do it. Sometimes you'll have to work on the basis of elimination. The answer is not there, like it will not be there visible in the naked eye, right? So just do that.
Vaishnavi is asking, does gap year matters a lot? Not really. It does not really matter. Again, it is my answer will be very similar to what I said just 2 minutes back. That you just should know whatever you've done in your life, and you should just have some sort of justification for your life choices. And you would be glad to know that we have a lot of classmates who have gap years. Some have 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, and even 5 years.
5 years.
So that is something. Justification is something that is entirely in your hand, and again, be honest in your interview, and it will not have any sort of negative impact, because this is one of those colleges that genuinely believes in diversity, and they don't judge you on your past. So just be honest.
Having done NCC, Abhi is asking, see, nothing, see, there is no bias that the interviewers will have. If you have done NCC, yes, they can ask you about it, but don't think that you'll get a special, anything out of it, because for the panelists, everyone is same. They can question you about all the things you've done, and you should be very well aware of what you've done, why you did it. But other than that, there's nothing like you'll not get an edge over others because of this. Vaishnavi is asking that will the last date of form filling get extended? Vaishnavi, I would recommend that you should fill the form right now, because it's better. A lot of times, there are many steps in the form, so you might get stuck somewhere. So I would recommend you to start filling the form right away and don't wait for the last date. And I don't think it really gets extended. So, yeah. GA score and TISSNET score. See, GA is a component of TISSNET, right? So there are 40 questions of GA, 30 of English, and 30 of math. So you have to score at least 35% of 40 to be able to sit for HRM interview, to be able to qualify for the next stage. But GA score is a component of TISSNET score is 100, and out of that, GA is 40.
Right. So Varun, last year I gave, they both were in different, and I missed GK cutoff by 1 month. So as Harnika rightly mentioned that there is some cutoff for GK. You need to score at least 35% to clear the exam overall. So be very mindful of that. That is why GK is one of the most important sections, not just because of the fact that it carries 40% of the weightage, but also because of the fact that it has a sectional cutoff.
Fruitcake is asking that he has spent a significant period working 7+ years in a sector which is unrelated to social science. How would that affect my profile? It won't. Again, as Vidushi said, that if you can justify the life choices that you've made, then you're as good as any other aspirant who is going to sit for the interview. So do not worry. I have seen so diverse people in our class. Not everyone. I would say very few people are
In
from a
fact,
social science
I
background.
am an engineer, and I had 3 years of work experience before coming to TIS, and that was in IT sector, and it was completely unrelated to social sciences. So again, you should just be clear about why you want to pursue a certain course, and what your life choices were, and why they were the way they were. That's it. Nothing else matters.
Uh,
Ashish is asking how much current affairs questions will come out of 40 approximately. So Ashish, there's no set pattern for it, because it TISSNET tends to experiment a little bit with the GA section. So you should just be thoroughly prepared with both current affairs as well as the static GK. So we cannot really predict, but again, it is recommended that you go through the past year papers to figure out what sort of questions usually come in the exam, so that you can uh, be prepared with those topics.
Absolutely. Even B Chandana is asking that can a fresher have a chance to get into TIS with BSc science background? Yes, I'm saying that our class is very diverse, so people from all backgrounds are welcome.
We have lawyers, we have doctors, we have engineers, we have non-engineers, we have people who have uh, like very very different undergraduate background. So again, this is extremely diverse. You can find people from different corners of the country who have had different backgrounds, and yeah, so that is something you should not be worried about. I'm doing job in a PSU for 3 years. Will I be asked job related questions in my interview? Uh, yes, it is highly likely that you uh, will be asked questions about your job, and not just job. Anything that you've mentioned in your DAF, anything that you've mentioned in the form, or whatever you mentioned in your interview, you may be questioned about that, and it can also be. And it may also be possible that you might not even get asked those questions that you are expecting the most. So interviews can be a little uncertain, but there is nothing that you cannot answer. You should again you should be clear about whatever you've written in your application form, whatever you're saying. Just be mindful of whatever you, each and every word that you say in the interview, because the panelists can pick from there, and they can come up with another question from your previous question. So you shouldn't say something that you're not very sure of.
Pranay is asking what are the chances for freshers from hotel management background. See, again, as we are saying
We have
that,
a classmate who
yes,
has
who
a degree in hotel management, so your chance is just as good as anybody else out there. Kunal Chavan is asking, ma'am, how many months of CA one should cover for fetching good marks in GK? Kunal, it is recommended that you prepare for at least a year, because we understand that the that CA section is extremely vast. In fact, GA itself is extremely vast, and you cannot really cover each and everything. But you should be thorough with at least 1 year of current affairs for to be able to score good marks in that particular section.
Sharda is saying that is it too late to start preparation now for HRM and LR program? See, Sharda, Vidushi had talked about it earlier also. See, you can clear it. You just have to be consistent. Maybe you'll have to make up for the time lost, but then you can do it. A lot of our classmates prepared in just 2 3 months and they cleared the exam. They're sitting with us, so you can definitely clear the exam even in this time. But yes, definitely you'll have to work hard.
We wanted to know if anybody has any queries very specific to the application form filling, because we would like to help you with any queries that you have related to the form.
Meanwhile, Pranay is asking that interview tip for freshers. Like, okay, so I'm a fresher myself, so I can talk with my experience and how I had prepared. So for a fresher, see, first thing for anyone should be that they should have a small sketch as to what they are like in a 1 or 2 minute crisp introduction as to what you have done, your schooling, extracurriculars, and everything that you've done in life. Just in case they ask you, tell us about yourself. So you should have an answer to tell us about yourself, right? It's not that they'll ask you every time, but then they can ask you. As a fresher, the kind of questions which I was posed with, they asked me that first, a lot of questions from my undergrad subject. They asked me a lot of questions from there. After that, they gave me certain situations which I might face as an HR in a company. So in those situations, I had to choose that what my decision would be. Other than that, they asked me very random questions from things which are happening around the world, which they think we should be knowing. And
And
yes, that's
one
it.
tip from my side would be that if you are asked a case based question during an interview, so just know that there is no right or wrong to such kind of questions, and that is completely dependent on the situation. And whatever you're saying, whatever you're answering in front of the panelist, you should just have some sort of rationale. For example, if you're saying that you're going to do XYZ thing in a particular situation, you should have some sort of backing. Why am I going to do what I'm going to do? Because your decision may or may not be very very relevant or right in that particular context, but you should have some logic behind it. So it's nothing that you cannot tackle. Just have some sort of rationale behind everything you say during case based questions.
Uh, Yes, Rushikesh,
And also
we would be
Lavina is
uploading.
asking, I have asked form related query, please assist. So Lavina, please ask your query here so that we can help her. We are covered. Sharda is asking, from the basics we can start and get into this Mumbai campus in HRM program. Sharda, could you be a little bit more specific? Are you talking about basics of the syllabus or what?
Basic, if you're starting from the scratch, if you saying
It's
that you have,
always good to start
yeah,
from the scratch
if you
anywhere.
haven't prepared a B and if you're thinking that like you have no idea, still you can do it.
Yes, Roshikesh, we will be uploading the recording of this live session.
The level of the paper is, I would say, moderate. It is moderate. It's not as hard as cat, but then the pattern is kind of same.
Sharda is asking the syllabus. So Sharda, officially on our website, you can find the syllabus that TISS has provided. So they have mentioned each and every topic from where you can be asked questions. So we recommend that you go to the official website and check the syllabus out there.
I think Pranay, the skills Excel PPT, it's good that if you have it. I would say even now I'm not very good with those, so it's not a prerequisite, but it's good if you know those. And I think you're doing already a lot of things to get into the course, so it's good enough.
Rushikesh is asking, TISSNET exam and TISSMAT exam happen on same day or different day. So Rushikesh, as I mentioned earlier as well, I think you were not there. So TISSMAT most likely, from whatever information we have so far, we think that TISSMAT will not be conducted this year. So for now, just focus on TISSNET, and if there's any change in the timeline or the process or anything else is there, we are going to upload and on our official social media handles, and you can also keep a check, which I recommend that you keep a check on the official website for any new updates. Somebody was asking something very specific to the form, so if you could be, I think it was Lavina, if you could be more specific about the query. Mayur, we since we are from HRM, so we don't have the necessary information and knowledge to answer questions related to other
Other
courses.
courses.
So it won't be fair for us to uh, tell you whether or not you should pick a particular
Hmm.
course. But if there's anything specific to HRM, our course, our journey so
Yes.
far, form filling, anything related to HRM and LR, we'll be more than happy to answer that. So, how many programs can we apply for? Just join. So, Sheetal, you can apply for around three programs, and for all the three programs that you apply for, you'll have to input your preference for each of these, and be very mindful of your choices and preferences while filling out the application form, because this is something that you cannot change at a later stage.
Sharda, no, general category doesn't have 20 seats. We are following the same norm of reservation which is there in any institute. Almost 50% seats are there for the general category, and
And
it's not
it's
20.
also the matrix is also very nicely explained on the
Hmm.
website, so you can go through that as well. Coming from tier 3 4 college affect the changes to get not really. Be Chandana, it doesn't matter from where you come, what your undergraduate background is. Your chances are as good as anybody else. Just prepare well, and nothing else matters.
Sheetal, yes, sectional cutoff is there for GK only, and 35% of it would make around 14 questions. So minimum 14 questions you need to get right, and it's only for GK. Yes. Fruitcake is asking, if the interview questions turn political, like if they demand you to take a clear position that's pro or anti establishment, then how do we tackle those? I personally believe that. Have you been post? See, I personally
I
believe
was
that they
not.
will not put you in such a situation. But even if they do, then by all means you can take a neutral stand if you want to. But just be true to yourself. If you really think that this is the kind of answer you would want to give, then give that
And
answer.
also, no one is going to judge you on the
Yes.
kind of opinion you have.
Yes, you can have any
Again,
kind.
whatever
Huh.
you are saying, just have some sort of logic. You might be having some sort of belief while answering those questions, so no one's going to judge you on your beliefs. So And again, this is something that is very personal because none of us, I mean, neither of us were asked
Yeah.
any such questions, so we cannot really
So we
answer
cannot say that
this.
it is a set pattern that they would
Yeah.
ask you such questions, but then if you're unlucky, they can ask you. Yes, Pranay, we learned everything which is there, which an HR should be knowing. Yes, we learned labor laws also. Everything which an HR would be doing in a company, it is being covered in the curriculum. Other than that, we have guest lectures also. So we have other things also to enhance the learning.
Yamini is asking for me target colleges only test, so I'm not giving exam for any college as I'm fully focusing on test syllabus. So will it be an issue in interview as I'm not keeping any backup? No, Yamini, not really. No, they're not going to judge you on whether or not you applied for other colleges.
Yes.
So that is not something that is going to hamper your chances of getting into
I
test.
myself haven't. I have only given tests. I did not sit for CADS at or any other exam. So it is okay. They don't even ask about it. So it's okay.
And there are a lot many people like you who only not just Harnika, other we also have classmates who were just targeting
Yes.
tests, and their chances were as good as anybody else who appeared for any other entrances or had backup colleges.
Mayur, there is no specific source for anything. See, I personally, a lot of people have read certain HR books, and that is also not a set standard of HR books. Whichever book they thought will, enhance their knowledge or help them, they followed that book. But I had not even read those. So it depends. You cannot have a certain set of books which you have to read or certain thing for PI because they can ask you anything. One thing which I would say for PI is that you should know yourself. It sounds very like a very generic
Very
statement.
cliched, but
Yeah.
as
But
cliched as it sounds, it's true. And also the source is your own reflection about your life.
yes,
Like we mentioned, there's going to be some form, and there you have to reflect on your life very well, and you should know each and everything that you're writing there.
Sheetal is asking weightage for current affairs if you can recall. So it is tough to recall
There's
because it's
no, it's not
online.
just stuff, it's there's actually no clear demarcation
Yes.
between these two. So
Yeah.
that is why we are recommending that you prepare the current affairs for at least a year, and whatever static GK topics that are mentioned on the website, you go through each one of them, because as we do understand that the syllabus is vast, because we were aspirants too last year, but then again, it is something that is very uncertain and we need to be fully prepared for it.
Pranay is asking that is there any partiality in placement and your honest feedback? See, there's no partiality in placement. Okay, we give our own online assessments. We have given our own interviews. There was nobody else there, right? The companies have the performers of the entire students, so they have the right to shortlist whoever they want to. So a lot of times, our entire class is given the online assessment, and on the basis of the marks of the assessment, we have been shortlisted. So there is no partiality in any sorts. The companies are directly taking the candidate they want to take.
Do you mean partiality in terms of profile? Answer to that would
Hmm.
again be a big no. People from very different backgrounds, people from and whether or not they have gap years or whatever they've done so far, no company that has visited our campus for our summer internship process or even for the finals, they don't judge you on any of those. So there's no partiality when it comes to that. So don't worry about all that.
See, I understand GA questions are a bit tricky. Everyone is scared of that, specifically because of the cutoff. But then I think you should be just do the current affairs of every day, with whatever is happening every day, at least for 1 year. And other than that, I think we should have basic knowledge of polity, class 10th, 12th level, and but you should have a good knowledge of it, so it'll work for you.
Lavina is asking if someone has done MBA in marketing and has experience in it, but now wants to change into HR and do MBA in it, will it difficult? Again, Lavina, no. It will. There will be. In fact, we do have people from our class who have some experience in marketing. There are people who have already done
An
MBA
MBA.
and now they want to pursue a career in HR. So they want to. So they got into TISS in the HRM and LR program. So again, just justify your choices well. know what you're doing, know why you're doing what you're doing, and that should be sufficient.
Ayush is asking about English. English, I had told earlier, maybe you joined a bit late. See, there are two sections, reading comprehension and grammar. For grammar, follow any standard book which you think you're able to do. Try solving the questions. And for comprehensions, try practicing as many comprehensions as you can. You can get it on Google, get any comprehension, practice it till the TISSNET. On the basis of that, I think you will have a certain idea as to how you will attempt reading comprehension over there. Pranay is asking, does our pass marks affect while placement or selection in college? No. See, your marks. I think you've got good marks. They're not that bad. But then the thing is that it does not affect. Again, if you think you're just in case the panelist asks you that why your marks are low, then you should be able to justify it. That's it. If you think your marks are low, then justify it. You might be having a certain reason for not being able to do that, but it does not hamper your chances of getting into anything. It's good. You have a good chance. No, no, work experience is not important. I'm a fresher myself. So,
It doesn't matter, basically. It's not something that is going to put you to disadvantage, obviously, but it can be a talking point during the interview, that what your work ex was about, which company were you in, what was your profile, and other things related to your work ex. But it is not a mandate that you should have work ex.
uh, Ashish is asking, I have a doubt regarding armed forces category. Ashish, I think it is based on the priority only. If the certain, like, there's a certain set of priorities which are there, as you're already talking about, then it is the same which is being followed here also. Sharda, gap years don't matter much. We have people who have like 5 years of gap year also, so it's okay. You should just know what you did in that gap year, right? Just justify it. But I see now you're asking how to justify. It depends on what you've been doing. Some people were preparing for competitive exams, so they justified it by saying that we were doing that. So just know what you did in that 1 year.
Pranay is asking, what about
What was
educational
your
background before joining it? So, Pranay, I am an electronics engineer. I completed my electronics engineering in 2019, following which I started working for an IT firm. I worked there for 3 years, and then I came to TISS and
For
continued
me,
working.
I am a fresher. I have done BA honors in social science and then I did MA in sociology and then I'm here. So I'm a fresher.
Uh, Please share your extempore.
My extempore experience, I told I got a topic of lifestyle and its impact on our health and diseases that we are having. So, see, I had just read about it. Like I was just reading about. See, you've seen that a lot of heart attacks are becoming common. So I tried to relate it to something which is being happening. I quoted that recently KK had passed when I was giving my interview. So I mentioned that that young people are having heart attack now, and that's how I built my base. And I went towards the end talking about high BP, everything. So that was my topic. It was they were not intervening. You could speak for 3 minutes, whatever you want to speak, and after 3 minutes, they automatically will ask you to like complete it and finish it.
Yeah,
So
so this entire thing, for like, we had extempore, so it was timed, and I got a topic, something related, it was something related to diversity, while designing L&D, something related to diversity was my topic during the extempore, and again I was given 3 minutes to talk about it, and I had work experience, so I tried to relate everything to my work experience, and I did take some examples, and I built the entire extempore around it. Um,
can you briefly say how rigorous life at TISS is, your daily routine work, and how you manage multiple things? See, again, it varies from individual to individual. How you manage your time is totally dependent on you. Yes, the course is hectic. We have loads of classes. But then, if you are able to manage your time, then you can perfectly balance all the things in your life, your professional and personal life. You will be able to balance it. It's not something which you cannot manage.
Thank you so much, Fruitcake. Yes, we will be having
Having
some more sessions, and also uh, we just keep an eye on our social media channels. We will be having some webinars in the future. Thank you so much, Varun. Means a lot.
Yamini, there is like you get a lot of time to upload your certificates, and see,
Graduation certificate.
yeah, it is flexible. The time, it's like they will give you a lot of time to give the certificate up, like upload the certificate. Don't worry much about it. I think you'll get your certificate by the time you'll be asked to upload it.
What is the admission process after the selection? So Pranay, I am assuming that the selection that you're talking about is the clearing testnet cutoff. So as mentioned in the timeline, we are going to have an OA, an online assessment, and we are not sure what the components of online assessment will be there for you people. For us it was interview and extempore. So yeah, once you're done with your testnet, the result comes out. If you make it to the next round, you're going to have your online assessment, after which this will declare the final result, and we'll have, I think, 2 to 3 rounds of we have
uh,
3 rounds, right?
Cutoffs,
No, matlab, the rounds of
council.
admission,
Yeah,
counseling rounds.
we have 3 to 4 rounds of counseling. It
It
depends on the.
depends on it changes every year,
Yes,
so
so
we
there's
cannot
no
really
set.
comment on it.
Mayur, classes, see, due to the pandemic, there has been a lot of shift. So we are hoping things would get normal this year, and by June end, we would be able to start the classes. But then again, it's not something which is
For like, us, it started on 25th July.
yes. But then
For you people, it could be somewhere later in June, or sometime in
some
July.
yes, but then there's no
Let's
official
wait for
notification
the
for that.
official notification
But
for that.
hopefully, we'll return to normal settings.
No, admission process after all exam and interview.
Okay, so after that, you will be given some time to fill the fees, and there are documents which you need to upload. So, as we were like usually in the pandemic, we were asked to upload the documents online, and then there was a physical verification, and we came back to the campus. So, I think that is the same process which is going to be followed this year as well. I think the questions for today are
I
done.
think okay, nobody has any more questions. All right, folks. Best of luck for TISSNET. We'll be having more sessions in the future, and do follow our social media handles so that you can get to know whenever we have any new initiative for you people coming up. So thank you so much.
Thank you.